Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 236. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing the Nightstick review and some other stuff. And tonight on the podcast, we have Larry, Curly, and Mo. Oh, wait. We have Zane and Tony. Never mind. Rob's not going to be here, or he might pop in late. We're not sure which. So one of you guys gets to go first on what you did in firearms.
All right. Oh, you want to go? Go ahead. Oh, you did cool stuff. Yeah, I'll go first. I didn't do anything much. Dry firing and cleaning some guns, which I kind of like doing, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's neither. I don't love doing it because I don't do it as much as I should, but I clean some of my stuff.
Well, you know, you have to do that once a year or something.
You know,
or so I hear.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. I'm like, whatever. I might as well go because I didn't do anything exciting either. Finished up a review, went out, took pictures in the dark so that I could finish the review, and that's it. So
I thought I was the one who took pictures in the dark.
Well, those are different pictures. So since you're the only one that did anything fun, you can tell us all about it, Zane.
I did. I went to the first stop on the Brownells Convoy Across America in Leesburg, Florida. It was sponsored by, I don't even know if I can say the sponsor's name that I'm going to. It's sponsored by Badass Official. First stop. I'm also getting feedback. And we, there was some cool stuff there. I got to meet Hank and Lola Strange in person. I've talked to Hank on the internet before, but cool dude, cool chick. And we shot some really weird stuff, like a 12-inch 50 BMG AR pistol. That was a very interesting little firearm. Safety Harbor Firearms out of over around Tampa area. They're making uppers they will go on your lower. So, and it is a very, very interesting little upper there. It has got a little umph to it.
Sweet.
That's an understatement.
I saw
the video. Little umph.
Yeah. So it's weird though. It doesn't have being 50 BMG slow burning powder, and with such a short barrel, it doesn't have a lot of kick to it. It doesn't hurt. It's no worse than like shooting a Magnum slug out of a 12 gauge, but it's got just this massive push to it. And it was on a pistol lower, so it literally got a tail hook brace on there. No stock at all. It's just like this little tail hook brace, and it's a bolt action, so there's no recoil mitigation going on with the action cycling. So it did have a pretty decent break on it, but thankfully. But yeah, I shot a Barrett just before it. It felt nothing like that, like completely different recoil impulse than the Barrett. So. Yeah, neat. Then they wanted me to shoot a flamethrower, and I was like, well, I mean, if you're going to twist my arm. So that was interesting. There's some machine guns out there. Cool guys. Got to hang out with the Brownells guys a little bit. So
nice.
It's a good time.
Nice. And that was Brownells like Convoy Across America or whatever it is.
Yeah, Convoy. They're doing 10 stops, I guess. And the first one was here in Florida, and they're going to Hank's going with the whole Convoy Across America, and then I think the We Like Shooting crew is meeting up with them about halfway through, and they're going to do the rest of the tour. And so if you live near one of the stops, you should totally go because it's a lot of fun. I think they were somewhere in South Carolina today. I don't know where they're going tomorrow.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I met Hank and his wife, and they're cool people. So, I mean, really, you go out, and if you listen to podcasts or watch YouTube channels, you'll actually meet some of these people or some of these companies, and why the heck not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Lola says she's not going to all. She can only go to the first one here in Florida. So, which I guess I got lucky. I got to meet both of them. But yeah, if you subscribe to like Hank Strange's stuff and you want to meet him, he's going to be at all these.
Dude,
Nice.
Safety Harbor Firearms has the picture of this thing up right now
Dude,
on their
it's
Instagram.
ridiculous.
Oh, dude, it's called a SHTF 50 pistol.
Yeah. It's
And this is ridiculous.
completely not practical for anything, but it's a very expensive way to waste money or very expensive way to make noise.
Wrong. See, as usual, you're wrong. If you have a loose tooth.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
If you have a loose tooth, I think this will jar that sucker right out of your head.
So I took a one of the rounds and put it up next to like the barrel and chamber area. So basically, the best I can figure is once the bullet leaves the case, you got about 5 inches of usable barrel. is pretty, because 50 BMG is a stupid long case too.
Yeah.
And I mean it just. And I was like, and honestly, because it's uppers, you can order this from them and they can ship it right to your house.
They can ship it right to your house.
And you just throw it on your lower and, you got to take, I'm pretty sure you have to take your buffer and buffer spring out, like 99% sure. Because I don't know about the single shot version. They make a single shot version too. And they're not outrageously priced. Dude said the single shot starts at like $1,400 for the upper.
Wow.
And then the 5-shot box was like, I think he said like $1,800. Which, I mean, if you're looking for a way to make a lot of noise for a lot of money, this would be the way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again,
it was blowing drinks off the table.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, it was just setting car alarms off.
My thing is get the longer barrel and, for your poop hits the fan scenario, yeah, you're stopping cars with that sucker.
Oh yeah, get the one for the rifle lower. If I was gonna get one, I would get the one for the rifle lower.
Yeah, definitely. I have no idea how accurate it is, but my thing is, it's a lot of fun. And
me
$3 to $5
neither, because I was just aiming at the berm. Literally, there wasn't even a target down there, and I didn't even care. Probably the first time in a very long time I wasn't actually like aiming at something. I'm just shooting.
Yeah, sometimes it bothers me not to be actually using that skill set to aim at something. And then sometimes it's like, hey, let it ride, man. This is a range toy. Have fun with this.
I really want to shoot a hog with it.
Holy crap.
I don't even that's a thing I want to do. So
can't say I don't understand it.
I mean, if they want to send me one, I'll totally do a review on it.
And maybe find a hog in the process, huh?
Yeah,
I usually find them.
Let me go ahead and explain this. If you're going to send me a 50 BMG to review, you send me ammo too.
Well, yeah, at about $3.50 a shot, something like that.
Yeah, you're sending me ammo.
It's going to be a very low round count review, but
I shot a hog. I hit it. That's the accuracy portion.
This is the funny part. The thing had a red dot on it too, or a green dot on it, probably not the sighting system you would use for a 50 BMG. But
I noticed that in the video or the picture or something. I'm like, wait a second, that's got like a red dot on it. I'm like, okay. Well, it says a lot for whoever's green dot or red dot or whatever was on there.
I didn't think to ask who made that dot, but I definitely should have, because it was still working at the end of the night.
Right. And that says a lot.
It looks like a Mepro.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't even look at it that much.
I'm looking at the picture now. It looks like one of those, but who knows?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it better have a warranty on it.
It's voided.
Yeah,
Once you see the video, it's voided.
Probably. Well, it's a good thing you had fun, Zane. And
yeah, it was a good time.
Thanks for repping the, Gun Gear Review podcast, which you probably only mentioned once while you were there.
Oh, no, I told everybody. You should listen to my show.
You should listen.
It's my show.
To my
totally
show.
My show.
I host the Gun and Gear Review podcast.
Well, he does. Just ask Kenny Ortega.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
I guess we'll get into the announcements now. Well, since Zane went and did something next week, I guess I get to go do something. I'll be at TriggerCon, so if you see me there or hear me or something, stop, say hi. Bandwidth sponsor for our lovely podcast is Patriot Patch Co. You can go there, and they always have new stuff for pre-order. They got the Patch of the Month Club, which is always awesome. You can get like Colonial Pocket Dump patches and all kinds of cool stuff. So go join that. If you're shopping Amazon, since today, I guess when we're recording is Prime Day, you can still use our affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And that way we'll get a piece of the pie that you're giving them. Something like that. And if you want to donate to the 2A4E diversity shoot and want to purchase stuff from Black Bag Resources, you can use the code 2A4E. And anything in your cart will be donated to Tony.
Yay.
So he can give it away or build stuff out of it or whatever he feels like doing.
Yeah, we're doing the build. I'm taking the stuff for the 2A4E rifle build down to the range for the Minuteman Challenge. Sean and I are going to meet up, and I'm going to hand them over the parts. We're going to take some pictures of all the parts that everyone donated, lay it all out on the table, and, let you guys see what's happening. You want me to go ahead and do
Sure,
Rob's
if
part?
you want. Since Rob's not here.
Yeah. Oh, I'll read it. You want me to read it like Rob does too, or you want me to actually?
Well, I can care less how you read it.
Let me go ahead. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, baby.
Tony gets an award. I'll send you an A2 grip.
Great. Now I got to build another gun.
Which means you'll have like 50 because of all the things you got there.
Yeah, I can't wait for the news reports to talk about the arsenal I have and just show A2 grips.
That's right, because that's all you have. Well, they got that little finger thing that goes up.
That's for full auto.
I gotcha. Well, I actually have a review tonight, so I will discuss our wonderful review. It is on the Nightstick TWM 850XL, which, if you are watching the video, is a weapon-mounted light. So we'll get into it. Nightstick's kind of a new company for, weapon-mounted lights. They've been building the company that owns them, or it might be a doing business as, I'm not sure. I didn't check that far into it. Is Baco Products, and they've been making lighting products like flashlights and like drop lights and all kinds of stuff for quite a while. I purposely went and saw them at SHOT Show when I was there because they had brought out some new weapons lights, and so I wanted to see them. And this is their most powerful version, the 850XL. It is a full-size light, as you can probably tell by the pictures. It is comparable size to a TLR1 HL, and pretty much it will fit most holsters that use the TLR1. It's that close in sizing. It is an 850 lumen light, which quite bright. It runs 15,000 candela for our buddy Zane there. I figured I'd throw that in there, which is exactly the same pretty much output as the TLR1 HL. Specs are very similar. They say it'll go 245 meters. That's what they say. You're not going to be able to identify like a person or something like that at that distance. But as I put in the article, the house at the end of my street, which is like 125 yards away, they probably hate me because I have shined this light down the street quite a few times. And it did a decent job of lighting up their house. I couldn't identify somebody. At least you could tell there was a figure if somebody was standing outside, but I didn't like shine it at them to tell. I figured that might be a little suspicious. You can make out figures, trees, as most lights, it's kind of visually, they appear to work better when it's darker out. And it's just because they're the same brightness. It's like, how well does a flashlight work in the sun? Not very well. So there is that, as with most. in the article, if you go to the firearmsinsider.tv and look at the article, I took some pictures at night on the side of a road so that you can actually kind of tell what it looks like. Some of the pictures, you can see the spill pattern, and it's decent. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with it. There is, in every picture on there is a person. Some of them it's hard to see depending on the distance. At 75 yards, you could make out it was a person, but that's it. Then as the person got closer, like at 25 yards, you could identify the person, which was kind of nice. Even at 35 yards, visually, you could say, yes, that's a person. The person's wearing, in this case, light blue shirt and blue shorts. So there's all kinds of nice pictures in there if you really want to know. Nightstick did a lot of stuff with this. They did a good job putting usable features in it. I try not to compare it to the TLR one, but of course that's kind of one of the standards that it does a very good job competing with. They make the switches a little different. The switch itself, the plastic part, is a glass-filled nylon to give them strength. They are ambidextrous. My favorite feature of this light is how the switches actually operate. Basically, either side, if you push down, it's momentary on. It doesn't matter which side. Or if you push up, it's constant on. And then whichever side you push down on, it turns it back off. I liked that because it's the same no matter which direction you're going. I typically being right-handed, I'll rest my thumb on it. And that way it's kind of hard to flip up with your thumb, but you can flip it up with your trigger finger on the other side. And that's just momentary. It's kind of how I run it. That's just personal preference. In between them is your
Is it a mechanical switch or is it an electric switch?
It is a mechanical. It's not like a push button electrical switch.
Okay.
It's a mechanical slide switch.
There's tactile feel to it.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Especially when it goes on, you can feel it. It clicks up. And when the momentary, it's just kind of spongy as you push down. But I looked inside it. When you take the batteries out, it folds down and you can kind of see the circuit board, the back side of it for the switch. So it's not like your push button. Which brand are those that you can, like, I know like Olight makes one that's just like an electronic switch, which yeah.
Are Enforce's lights like that?
Yes.
I think they are.
Yeah,
yes.
Enforce, yeah.
Yeah, there's also used an electronic like push button switch. I liked it. Now it's got a lot of specifications. I'll read them here. It is hard code anodized. I'll wait until later to read the rest of them. It uses the standard 2 CR123 batteries. I mean, I know you guys are disappointed it doesn't use 2032s, and I'm reviewing it, but sorry. Of course, you have to take the light off the handgun to replace the batteries, which is kind of typical. Now, if you have it mounted on a rifle, you can change them without that. It does have a screw in the back. You unscrew it, fold it down, and away you go. The lens is made of polycarbonate. It's the same stuff that your safety glasses are made from usually. So it's pretty hard and indestructible. They put an anti-scratch coating on it. I have not been able to scratch it. I haven't dug into it with a knife, but just in normal use, I have not.
Send it to me.
No. I think part of the reason is you're shooting when it's got a slide on it. It extends past the barrel, so you're not getting much blowback on the lens itself. So that kind of actually helps it. Battery life, they specify 1 3/4 hours. For me, I did waste a set of batteries. About an hour and a half is where it was bright, and then you seem to notice quite a bit of difference. It does get very hot. It even has a warning that says hot on it. And each one also has its own serial number, which I guess if you're law enforcement or something, that might make sense. But for me, I don't really care if it has a serial number or not. It comes with cross rail inserts to mount it for different size rails. The instructions tell you what positions or what. But I also found that if you just kind of hold it up there, you can kind of see where you want it. You can mount the 2 cross rail inserts. I only have one mounted right now because that's what lines up with this particular polymer 80 frame. But it works well. They didn't loosen up or anything. I purposely didn't put Loctite on them because I wanted to see if they loosened up. They are pretty small, so you could probably strip them out. They do give you an Allen wrench, but I mean, it's only going into aluminum. So that part works good. I've had 0 problems with this, actually. Every time I pretty much shoot a handgun with a rail, I'll screw it on there just because. I did mount it to an AR and try it out. I mean, it wasn't as weird as you would think it would be on an AR, being a pistol light mainly. But if you mount it on a rail on the bottom, you can still kind of put your thumb up there and you can still kind of run it like momentary and on. I didn't put many rifle rounds through it. Mainly it was running around with it mounted up just to see how I liked it. They do make an actual rifle version that has a push button tail cap, which, like in that case, I think it is electrical, not a mechanical. And then they also make one now that has a pressure pad. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say everything I put it through, it worked great. So I think it's pretty much good to go in the market. Didn't really have, like I said, no problems. I think it's on par with the TLR ones. Quality's nice. It won't break the bank. It is a little bit cheaper. So you can go check out Nightstick if you want. We'll get into the Firearms Insider 8 key points now. The claim to fame, it's a high output LED weapon mounted light. Target market's pretty much anyone wanting a weapons mounted light with high output. The features and benefits, it is 850 lumens. It does have 15,000 candela. It has a 2-meter drop rating. So if I were to throw it over my shoulder here, it's probably not going to break. It is IPX7 waterproof, which I looked up the spec because who knows what it is. And basically it's submerged 1 meter for 30 minutes is what the waterproofing is. So you don't want to go swimming with it, but it's still, if you drop it in a puddle or something, it's still going to work. Run times 1 3/4 hours. It is 3.75 inches long, and that is to the end of the switches. So it's kind of not an accurate reading, but still kind of is. The width is 1.5 and the depth 1.5. So, but it's round. So it weighs 5.4 ounces with the batteries in it, I believe. The head diameter is 1.2 inches or 30 millimeters. It does have the ambidextrous toggle switches, the momentary constant on. It is 6061 aluminum. The glass-filled polymer tail switches. The beam distance we already talked about. It's impact and chemical resistance for the most part. Everything else we talked about. You can, like I mentioned, you can get it with a strobe option. This one does not have the strobe option, but they do offer it with a strobe. And then, like I said, they offer the rifle versions. There is something in the review about what others are saying. I did find a review on AmmoLand on the one with the strobe. Basically the same light. MSRP on this thing is $150.96. Don't ask me why it's an odd number like that, but hey. Currently, I found it on Amazon with Prime for $85.87. So, pretty decent price. So, if you need it now, go to Amazon.
Right now on Amazon, because I mean, maybe it's Prime. It's $63.57.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that kind of sort of
It might
makes it
be.
worth it.
Oh yeah, because that's a steal. Yeah, that's probably. I wonder if that's because it's Prime Day or whatever. But hey, if you're listening to this and want it, that's a good price. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. Yep. No problem.
But okay, when I did the review on Saturday, when I finished adding all this stuff, it was $85. So the pros, it's bright. It is TLR1 size, so it fits a lot of stuff there. I like the adjustable cross rail inserts because they're actually mounted good. The cons, you got to take it off to replace the batteries. That's kind of a con with everything. And the size, it is kind of large, but it's a full size light. So I gave it a score of 8, which is great. And they did supply this for reviews, so I did not purchase it. You guys got any questions, comments?
Got nothing.
Yeah, except what you already asked. Except if you're listening now, go buy it.
Right.
Yeah, the only question I would have had was how do you think it would work on a rifle? And you answered that. So, and truthfully, the other thing is, how does it compare to some of the contemporaries, like Streamlight, like Surefire?
Right. And that's the thing is, it's like compared to, I don't have and haven't really ever used one of the Surefire weapon mounted lights, but the TLR ones I have used, and compared to them, I'd say it's pretty much the same. I mean, you would almost say it's a copy, but it's not. They got some different features. But as far as quality, yeah, I'd say it's the same.
Yeah, and for the price, right now, again, this is Amazon Prime, $114.96 for a Streamlight 800 lumen, and it's like this one is 60 something bucks. 63.
Yeah, well, even at the 85, it's still, I thought it was a good deal. But yeah, 63, heck yeah.
63 is one of those prices. If it's as good as the TLR1, it's something you brag to people about. I picked this up for $63.
Exactly.
You take the class just so you can brag about having the price for that. Hey, you see a weapons light I have right here? Yeah. 60 something bucks.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a weapons light class coming up on the 29th. Maybe
you should buy one of those today.
Buy what? I beg first, then I buy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, so that's the review. We'll get into the product spotlight and discussion now. And brought to you thanks to the internet, I bring you the Fab Arm STF-12, which is their new tactical shotgun, I guess. MSRP on it is $11.95 for the black version. I kind of put this in here because Fab Arm makes, typically when I think of them, I think of like over-unders, maybe a side-by-side or something. But they have this now. So, okay, I can deal with that. This is the big if, it's still a pump shotgun. Now, I was really hoping when I first saw it that it was semi-auto, and I think Tony was too, but it's not. It is a pump shotgun. I think it's a good-looking pump shotgun, but I'll go over the specs, see what you guys say. It is your standard 12-gauge, 3-inch chamber. It runs an 18-inch barrel, black, as I said. It's 5+1 rounds in the tube. It has a cooling jacket finish, which black anodized non-glare. I don't know. The stock is fixed. Length of pull is 12.6 inches. the stock finishing, it says it has their soft touch. And basically, it's a treatment to improve the grip in weather conditions like rain, cold temperature. Feels almost velvety smooth, they say, kind of a soft rubber coating. Okay. I'd like to feel it to actually see what it feels like. It includes a 12 o'clock mil standard pick rail, basically. There's one also under the forend, optional at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It does have sling swivels. Excuse me. And the overall length is 36 and a half inches, basically. It does come with a muzzle brake, I guess is what we're calling it. So it didn't even say if it's like a screw in where you could put chokes if you wanted or anything to that effect. So I'm just going with what I know. Let's see. Did I forget anything? I'm sure I did. If the top rail, it does come with sights, but the top rail is removable. You like take something out of the front. I remember, and then you turn it 90 degrees and the top rail pops off. So if you don't want the rail on there, it is removable, and it looks like it's fairly easy to remove. So the sights are ghost ring sights, and that's about all I have to say about it. Next. I guess nobody else wants to talk about it.
I was muted. My bad.
I know. So's Tony.
Yeah, so was I.
I guess we talked about it for the show, but we'll bring it up now. The ammo capacity kind of is irritating to me, but we kind of figured that's probably an import thing. And then the other thing I have is they made it look all nice and tactical, but then they put a fixed stock on it.
Import.
Is that import too? Yeah.
I went in depth. You know me. I try to find out, and that was an import thing too. That was a
922 or whatever.
922, yeah, 922.
It's the same reason we can't have 545 ammo.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So
anyway, that was that. I'm looking at it. Oh, you done, Zane? Or
yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I mean,
it's a pump shotgun for $1,200.
Yeah, it's a pump shotgun. Like I got a Mossberg 500, and it works pretty well. If this were semi-auto, I would be slightly more interested.
I would be too.
But
yeah, and I think if you guys read the show description, I made a mistake. If I wrote semi-auto, mainly because I was looking at the price and just assumed, because why on earth would you come to market in America with a pump shotgun that costs $1,200 that's not a Benelli?
Well, even the Benelli pump shotguns don't cost that.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at it going, okay, first I looked at the videos. Hey, kudos to awesome videos with Instructor Zero.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And it has a real tactical look. And they're like, oh, it's easily swappable. You can swap barrel lengths. You can do this. And then it's very, very accurate. Look at this 50-yard slug group. And I'm going, okay, let me go ahead and say this is America. So again, this thing is for the world. But here in this country, shotguns are all over the place. Shotguns can be had for as little as $100 or $150 for H&R Partner pump or anything, the Stevens 320s.
Maverick 88.
Since you mentioned Benelli, there, I went to their site. Their Supernova tactical pump shotgun has an MSRP of $500.
Wow. So now you have a company that hasn't made a pump shotgun ever. They make other types, but never made a pump. A lot of their stuff is proprietary. They're talking about accuracy in the shotgun. They're talking about swappability. And we all know, you dance with the girl you brung. Nobody's going to crack open the back of their squad car and have everything from a 14-inch barrel to a 28-inch barrel that they swap on and then use their shotgun as a 50-yard sniper's rifle with slug rounds in it.
No, shotguns in modern day policing are for breaching doors, and they're for launching less lethal. That for the most part.
Here it is. Some smaller towns don't have that money to go for a carbine. So again, the shotgun is still serving the purpose it has for the last 120 years.
Yeah, but they're not buying a $1,200 shotgun if they don't have the money.
No, but yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Though the shotgun serves its purpose as a low-cost, all-around gun in its lane. You can do almost anything with that shotgun up to a certain point. And for the money these people are asking for a shotgun, and it's still a pump action shotgun, yeah, you might want to miss me with that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go with I'm in the same boat as both you guys. I'm like, it's a tactical pump shotgun. Okay. Yeah, it might look cool, but I don't think I'm paying that much money when I can get almost a decent semi-auto shotgun for $50 more.
And I'll be honest, I've dressed up my Mossberg with all the cool guy stuff on it, and it doesn't have any of that stuff on it anymore. So, right.
Oh, and here's another thing I looked up. Speaking of Mossbergs, if you want your Mossberg swappable, if you want to be able to just pop parts off like Legos, then they have the Mossberg Flex system, FLEX, and you can pop off the pistol grip. You can pop on a pistol grip. You can pop on an AR type. You
can add
adjustable
some
stock
spacers for the stock, and yeah,
you can do all of that with their Flex technology. But like Zane said, I picked up an adjustable stock for my Winchester just for classes for people of shorter stature. And it kind of sort of sucks. It doesn't work for them. So I went and just purchased youth model shotguns.
Yeah.
Again, $125.
I'll tell you this. Anyone that has the pistol grip style stock on a Mossberg, whether it has a stock or not, whether it's a full stock or pistol grip only, has not used that gun very much because it is impossible to disengage the safety with a firing grip.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Years ago, I did one of them.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah, years ago, I did a review on like the Sidewinder conversion kit for the Mossberg.
Yeah.
And even though their stock, has a nice padding but it gave it a pistol grip. Well, the pistol grip is, you can't reach the safety. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean,
if you do want to put a stock on a shotgun and you like a little bit more of a pistol grip angle, it's hard to beat the Magpul one. You still keep that. I don't know. Why are we talking about Mossbergs?
No. I'm just talking about for what you get. It's still a pump action shotgun. Yeah. Mossberg. I mean, I'll even say a used Remington pre-Freedom Group.
You can sometimes find police trade-in 870s for the low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just so much
NFA
more.
police trade-ins with 14.5 870s.
So there are a lot other options you have in pump shotgun category. And they were telling you things. It's hilarious because it's all... If you want to see a bunch of publicity hype about a pump action shotgun, go there because, man, you feel left out if you watch that video. You're like, man, I should get one of these. And then you realize it's not doing anything your Mossberg 500 from Walmart can't do.
Truth.
Yep. Yeah. I hear you. And I kind of figured that's about the consensus we were going to get when I put it in the show notes. I was like, I think I know where this is going because I know how I feel about it.
Oh, can I go ahead and say something about that removable Picatinny rail extended sight on the top?
Oh, yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Okay, I'm looking at this, right? And it has a pick rail along the top of the receiver that goes all the way. It goes a significant length down the barrel, and it has a peep sight on it. And you can easily remove that, and it still has a backup sight system. So the pick rail has a sight in it, and then you can take the pick rail off, and it has a sight on the shotgun. Or what?
Still, Yeah.
Well, hey, listen. This is the only shotgun where I can say right now, all those people when I say, should you have backup iron sights on a gun with an optic? And they always say 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Well, they have 2 sets of iron backup sights just in case.
Well, yeah, and you put a red dot on it, then yeah.
Now you got 3. So what is 3 is 2 and 2 is 1 and 1 is none?
Something
Yeah,
like that.
so you got like whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just I was looking at it going, why would I ever need this? And what are you talking about? And Uncle Joe been drinking again and designing shotguns.
Exactly.
I do like ghost ring sights on a shotgun though, so that's one nice part, I guess.
See,
yeah.
And that's I'll beg to differ with you there. From personal preference, I like rifle sights on a shotgun.
I like rifle sights. I don't like bead sights.
No,
I
like bead sights.
Just a bead, I'm not a fan of. Now, if I'm shooting clays,
then
obviously,
it's fine. Yeah,
but I don't shoot clay because I don't know. I just don't.
You probably suck at it.
Well, you
but
can't find any more reduced loads than low base 9s. So
I have a 12 gauge press. I can make my own reduced loads.
He's shooting rock salt at the clays.
It'll sting them.
Look, you saw it wobble, right? It hit it. No, I like a bead sight. I really do. That's what I put work in. Every shotgun I have the bead sight, except the ATI, and my mom has that one now. So that's her home defense shotgun.
I can do work with a bead sight. I just prefer a rear sight. Actually, if we're being honest, I want a red dot on my shotgun because I want a red dot on everything.
Yeah, I'm getting into that red dot world too. Just seeing how easy it is to train new shooters at diversity shoots, getting on target immediately. I'm like, all right, I already know the fundamentals of shooting, so yeah, red dot's just quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess we'll put that to rest, and I'm guessing in a couple of years we probably won't see it again. Next up is something that I thought was pretty funny. Not the piece of equipment that we're going to talk about, but that literally I finished the show notes and like a half hour later, Zane texts me. It's like, hey, did you see this? And he puts the video link in there. And I'm like, and then he's like, oh, I see you added it to the show notes.
Yeah.
So what it is it's Mean Arms, and they are making an insert for PMags. And what this insert does is it basically lets you load 9mm into your PMag. Thus, not having to do anything on your AR-15 lower receiver. You just have to put like a 9mm upper bolt, that kind of stuff. And it uses the Colt style. So you want to make sure your bolt is the Colt style bolt. And you put this in your mag, then you load 9mm in it, you shove it in, everything works the same. It has a last round hold open, and it's just awesome. They're on pre-order right now. They said they're hoping end of September, I think is what I sent them an email, and that's I think what they sent me back. I'll look at it here. $24.99 a piece, or you can get a 3-pack for $68.99. Works with Gen 2 or Gen 3 PMags. So if you have Gen 1s, sell them to somebody and buy Gen 2s. Looked pretty cool to me. I know like the bolt I have will use either, it's cut for either Glock or the Colt style mags. So I'm going to try one of these out because I'm curious.
I don't know what my bolt's cut for. I know it's cut for Glock mag because I use
the
Glock
Faxon.
mags.
I think it's cut for both.
I think it is too.
I think it is too.
I think this is really neat. I kind of probably would have done this if this would have been out when I built mine. I still think you're going to be better reliability out of a dedicated lower.
I think maybe, but who knows? I mean,
yeah,
they're
This
kind
is
of
definitely way better than those stupid magwell block insert things. Like
right. And like the Magwell block that I have that they sent for review is works very well, but it's still
they just look
an
they
extra
just,
piece.
I guess it's mostly aesthetic, but they just look stupid to me with the little mag sticking out of that.
Yeah. I get you. This will look better.
The other thing with this is
end of September is what they're looking at so far.
The other thing with this is if you just want like a toy, especially like if you just want a range toy, and you want to practice and shoot for 17 cents a round instead of 30 cents a round, everything is still this. There's no difference in your mag changes and stuff. You can.
Well, and that's I mean, it's cheaper practice. Your mag changes will be the same. Everything operates exactly the same. And as you probably have noticed, saying that if you're shooting 9mm, you're getting really close to the same recoil.
Yeah, it's very similar. In fact, mine is probably more just because of how stupid short it is.
Well, even mine, it's a 16-inch rifle, and it's almost exactly like recoil impulse is very similar, like you said.
Well, and that's probably partly because of the gas system or really lack thereof.
Right, because it's blowback now instead of
a direct impingement.
Yeah,
I think this is cool. I'm sure there's going to be some bugs to work out, but I hope they get it working correctly. I think this is neat. I still think if I was going to have a serious use gun, I'd want a dedicated lower, but this is cool. I like this. And that's why I sent it to you as soon as someone sent it to me, and I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I that's the thing is I was surfing the internet looking for stuff, and I came across this. I'm like, and it wasn't on like one of the sites that I typically go to try to get stuff. It was because a lot of them have the same stuff. It was just on like one site, and I'm like, huh, that's pretty interesting. And then I went and looked at it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm putting that in the show notes.
Jake asked, does it take Glock mags?
Yeah,
nice. I was
I can't believe nobody's thought of this before. Like why did it take this long for this to happen?
It's a good idea, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The only thing I don't know is how many does it hold? I mean,
what do you mean?
They said 30 in the 30 in the video.
It can hold.
Yeah.
You can buy the adjustment for anything because I looked at it.
Oh, good.
Based in a restrictive state here, and you can choose.
Right.
You can choose
set up
30,
for 10, but you can.
Yeah.
You can
all the way to 30.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
So for me, it means that you can practice using this. What was the company? Black Dog, I think that's the name of the company that does 22 mags that are same AR mags. Yeah. Same exact thing. If you're training with that 22 AR or your AR in a 22 config, that's great, but it's not going to have that recoil. Now with this, you can change it straight over. Use your same mag carriers. Use everything. Use the same movements. I'll go ahead and say muscle memory just to get it out the way. But it is. I know everybody. Oh, it's not muscle. Get over it. It's called muscle memory. Damn it.
Muscles don't have memory.
Muscles don't have memory. Yeah. Okay.
I thought your brain was a muscle.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's a muscle. To all those people that have to say that. Here's a muscle right here, flying low. Jersey bird. I think it's great. It's expensive right now because it's new. I mean, it's $29 for the insert. And then you still have to have the mag.
Yeah, that doesn't come with the body.
Right. You still have to have a PMag body.
But what is a Colt mag cost? What does a Glock mag cost? I mean,
that's the thing is if you're buying like a 30 round Glock mag or even an ETS mag, they're like cheapest you can get them for is like $17-18.
I mean, the 30 round Glock mags I have, I think I paid like $25 for.
Yeah,
they're actually Glock branded.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So if you had to buy them, and then if you're buying,
you also have to buy the PMag too.
Yeah, but what's a PMag?
Yeah, but they're assuming you already have those.
Something like that. And you
Yeah.
can take them. You can put them back and forth. You can take your guts out. I mean, if you're really cheap, like if you're Tony, you could pull your guts out of your PMag and put this in, and then put them back in when you go back to 5.56.
Right.
I ain't no game with that. No shame in my game. I'm cheap too. I'll do that. But this is what sucks. This is what sucks though for someone that lives in a place like this. You got to cross the border. You got to buy your 30 rounders. You got to gut them, and then you got to install this in them, and then you come back across. It's some weird, crazy stuff, but it has nothing to do with this company. It just has to do with state laws. But yeah, I mean, if you live in a restrictive state like I do, you go to another state that's not. You can swap it over. What is that?
That was my tablet. I thought I had it off.
Sure. Always thinking.
Mm-hmm. The Brazilian transgendered whatever. Midget. So I look at it as a cool thing. I think it's great. I hope it really works out for them and they grow because it really makes a lot of sense. And I want to live in a free state one day and be able to use this to its full extent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think this thing's super cool. I hope it works out for them. I hope you can, in a couple years, go to the store and buy them for $10 a piece. I mean,
but hey, here's a funny thing. If you have one of these with your 9mm upper, man, you better have that stuff just clearly labeled so you know which one's the 9mm upper.
Go ahead.
I don't think a 9 might chamber in a 5.56, but 5.56 isn't going to chamber in a 9.
No, but
and that would cause more of a problem, I would think. You don't want to do it either way. But the other thing I was looking at, you kind of hit on the price, but how much was the price for the 3-pack? So you save $5 basically.
Yeah,
okay, so it's not
$9 or something.
You only save $6 to. Well, that's $2 per mag. You save. So.
Yeah, I mean that's
you might as well do it.
I wanted to offer a 10-pack because
Yeah, that would be about right. That's what you want, right?
Hey, that's what Palmetto Armory has those PMags on sale 10 at a time now.
Yeah, you buy a 10-pack of the cheapest PMags you can find, and then you buy a 10-pack of these, and you're all set.
Or even even what I'm thinking is like mags are, in my opinion, they're consumables. They're throwaway items.
They are.
So if you get a mag that's starting to screw up, gut it and throw this in it. I mean,
that's a great idea.
5.56, you're gonna destroy your mags. As long as the body's in decent shape, I don't see why you couldn't just stuff this in it.
Yeah, by the looks of
it,
it doesn't look like it.
I was thinking about this though. How tough is this comparatively when if you're practicing or if you're running it for pistol caliber carbine competitions, like this hitting the ground, how many times can this take those kind of blows?
I'm guessing. It says it's a specially formulated polymer. Well, so is a PMag. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be comparable to some extent.
Just saying. You know what
I know. I get you.
You're dumping them and dropping them.
Like I said earlier, I'm sure there are going to be some issues with them, and I hope not, but I'm just like there were issues with the original PMags. There's
issues.
I think it'll get worked out, and I think that I think these are going to be a hit. I think you're going to pretty much see those block inserts go away if these work. They're not going to go away because people are still going to do that because people got Glock mags. Both got Glock
people
mags.
People got Uzi mags and Colt mags.
But I think this is going to be if this works out, this is going to be a popular option, as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. We just got a chat message that said if you break or wear out your endo mag, return the damaged product and they'll send you a new unit for replacement.
Really?
Well, that answered that.
Yeah, great. They must be.
Are they watching the show? I was going to say, are they watching?
Somebody that knows something must be watching. I wasn't able to post it on Facebook, so they must have saw the Instagram feed or something. That's cool. Yeah. Yep. So
I don't know. I think these are cool. Like I said, if this would have been out when I built mine, I probably would have gone this route because my gun's not a serious use gun.
Oh yeah.
Although I got Glock mags for days, but I got P mags for days too. So I would have probably gone this route.
He said it was on on their website. I just,
Yeah.
I thought maybe they were listening to the show. I was like, that's cool.
No.
Either way, thank you.
That's Rusty. Hey, thanks, man.
Yep. Yeah, it could be fake news. Never mind. Okay. Well, we kind of have feedback, but I didn't put it in here because it's irrelevant. Okay, it might be relevant. I sent it to you guys.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
The pictures didn't come through on my end, though.
Oh, that's
mine
too bad.
either.
Oh.
So you need to send it to us in our little group text so we can check out some cool pictures.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do that somehow. But yeah, New Zealand.
Give it to your kids, you lazy bum. They know how to do it.
No, you don't want them sending you pictures.
Nice.
Trust me on that one. You don't want them sending you pictures. You're not sure what you're gonna get. I mean, they one of them might donate to the diversity shoot, but he might send you some weird pictures.
That's all right. I have weird pictures. Have you met my friends?
Yeah, we're kind of your friends.
Yeah, sadly.
So we thank you for sending that in. It's just updated feedback. Pretty cool about the gun laws in New Zealand. How you can get pretty much all kinds of stuff. You just need like certain. What was it? Certain.
Yeah, he's saying there's a bunch of permitting and he said there's good hunting and stuff though. So
yeah, and a lot of people go down there to hunt like red stag and stuff. So
which is elk, isn't it?
It's a type of elk. It's kind of a type of elk, I think, or
big deer.
Big deer, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying you have to have a certain size, like a certain thickness, safe, and if you want to get
if you want MSRs or ARs.
It just means a real safe.
Right. Yeah. You can't have like a gun cabinet with a log on it.
It says he said at least 6mm steel gun safe. I pulled it up.
6mm. That's substantial.
Yeah.
It's real safe.
I mean, but it's real safe. So, and pistols only for range use, and you have to get a license. But other than that, it sounds not terrible. Actually, and as we know, if I remember correctly, suppressors are just everyday items down there, I believe.
Yeah, most countries don't regulate suppressors like we do.
So we made up a lie. We made up a lie with fake news back in the day before the term fake news came about, because they said it was being used to poach during the Great Depression.
During the Great Depression.
As if using just a 22 short, which was way more available during the Great Depression than it is now, is just as good as a freaking suppressor.
People that couldn't afford to eat were buying suppressors. Like, no, they're making stuff in their garage is what they're doing. If they were,
and the thing is, I don't think any of them used a suppressor back then to do that, because I don't think their neighbors cared if they were poaching a deer so that they could eat, because their neighbors were probably doing the same thing.
Same exact thing. And understand, a suppressor back in the day were $7. So when they added the $200 tax stamp to a suppressor, that was pretty much just banning it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, guess what, Tony?
What?
It's your time to shine.
Is it time to talk about my article in Concealed Carry Magazine this month?
Oh, jeez. I thought we weren't going to discuss that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm not even going to bring it up. Look, right here. These pictures are awesome, though. Yeah, this month.
I'm going to keep talking so nobody can see the picture.
That's okay. No, 3 people are watching anyway. So, Concealed Carry Magazine this month, I actually have an article in it about how we started the diversity shoot. It's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. Thanks to Beth Alcazar and the people at Concealed Carry Magazine for having me do that. You guys already know, if you're regular listeners, what the diversity shoot is about. We have one coming up on August 2nd. If you want to help us out, donate as always. That helps. We seem to have a really big donation for a friend of mine named Rocco. He donated a significant amount of money. So we might be well on our way to doing the 501c3 thing. It's just legal paperwork and time. So hopefully that's it. I already talked about the raffle rifle. That was cool. The raffle rifle will be built soon, and we can go ahead and get that out there. We're doing the whole when we have 10 Patreons, 10 patrons on Patreon of $5 and above, we're actually going to raffle off one of our limited edition Spyderco knives from Firearms. So that's going to be cool. So pretty much once we get there, again, 10 people over $5 on the Patreon, you're going to have a 1 in 10 chance of winning this really cool limited edition knife. So that's what we're doing. You want to find out about us, you can go to diversityshoot.com. Again, August 2nd, Gun for Hire Range, Woodland Park, 6 p.m. We're going to have food, we're going to have guns, and we're going to have fun. And you're going to have a whole bunch of people you haven't met yet coming out. So bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your friend from work. The ticket's $20 on Eventbrite. And we really want to see you. First 10 people through the door are going to get prizes. We're going to have raffle prizes also. So it's going to be a fun time. And what we're trying to do is grow the gun culture and destroy the negative stereotype about all gun owners being racist, white, middle-aged men. Because we all know that's a lie. And we all know gun people are some of the coolest people out there as long as you don't talk to them on the internet. All right. So I really appreciate you having me on every week to talk about this. And thank you guys for sticking around and listening to me babble on.
Whatever, Tony. We let you because, well, we believe in what you do. Well, we're not sure about Zane, but that
Zane doesn't believe in anything.
Exactly. That's
I'm a
where
nihilist.
I was going there.
Zane hates Santa Claus.
Oh, that's not true.
I was going to say that's a far stretch.
Zane hates Santa.
Yep. Send questions, comments, feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Hey, go give Tony one too if you want for his podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at /Firearms Insider. Follow us at Firearms Insider on Instagram. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Bye, Felicia.